Oh, is this gonna be one of those? Oh no, it's easy.
Hey! Oh!
Hey.
Yeah.
I just said something. When I listened to this back, I lost my motor skills for a minute there.
Yeah. Harriet, because Harriet is on it.
What's your Prosecco?
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Oh!
Not everyone's the
Such a
same.
good friend.
However, oh my god, you're so sarky this podcast. Everyone's gonna sense this tension, but I'm actually gonna wallop you in a minute.
Okay, it's because of the photos, isn't it?
Oh, I can't be arsed with you, so I'm gonna walk out of this podcast.
Fingers down my spine. Girl, you look mad as I.
It started.
Hello!
It started! Hello, everyone!
That was like singing, wow.
Hello.
Hello.
It's me.
Are you... Oh, I don't actually know the rest of the words. Everyone's like, listen, I am not here to listen
hear
to you sing. I'm here to listen to you chat shit.
I need to listen to the tea.
I'm here for the tea. Like, why are you serving me coffee?
I'm here
I don't want
to
it.
see you guys make fools of yourselves.
On it. Honestly. So, hello, SisTEAM. Welcome
Hello,
back. Or
welcome back.
hello, if you've never actually
I
listened
know.
to us.
Welcome to episode
Why
12.
haven't you?
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 12. I can understand why you're, starting here because every episode gets better each time. So I
mean, I quite like some of our previous episodes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
to
go
name
back.
a few.
Just to name
Sip
a
it or
few.
simp. That's
Sip it
one
or
of my
simp.
faves. Actually, I
OnlyFans.
think 10 was my fave. I think it was 10. Anyway, so welcome to SisTEA podcast. Welcome back. So this week we're kind of gonna be going over friendships and also
Ghosting.
Oh, I was going into a bit more
wait,
detail about the subjects. No. I think we should just dive straight in.
This is an awkward thing for co-hosts. One's like this way, the other's that way. Like,
but I think we tend to drag things on. Well, not drag things on because I like listening to the whole thing.
oh,
But,
me too.
I just thought, introduction's an introduction. So
I swear we turn into narcissists after this because honestly,
I'll come in and she's like watching us on YouTube, and I'm like,
look at these two paintings right there that are getting aired. Anyway,
painting still
throwing
good.
back to the previous episode. Sorry, people just get on with the introduction.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna talk about friendships. And basically how to let go of them in a sense and trying to move on and doing what's best for you because a lot of the time I think we try and hold on to things that just don't need to be there. And also ghosting. We asked a couple of people on our Instagrams best way to ghost, how to ghost, should you ghost, and if you've ever been ghosted yourself, which I have many times. Call me Casper. Oh no, but the other person would be Casper, wouldn't it? Anyway.
Anyway.
And then we have an ending story where a sexual encounter ends up in A&E.
Wow.
So stay tuned if that sounds like something you want to hear. But anyway, let's get on with the episode.
So you're going to have to say the introduction because I butcher it every time.
Boil the kettle, grab some biscuits, and let's get down to
the tea.
Alright, so first topic of discussion is friendship. I feel like this is very different for men and women, so it'd be interesting to get a guy's perspective.
It would be. Yeah, because I feel like we all go through stages in our lives where, unfortunately, we drift from certain people or realise
you move
that...
countries, you move cities.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be like
grow as a person.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be like a... I don't want you in my life anymore, or like you're not bringing.
It doesn't have to be a massive ass thing.
Yeah, it could be like you move in country, or like you go away to university or something like that. We
exactly.
Feel like we need to kind of accept it a bit more.
It doesn't have to be this absolutely massive breakup that you've gone through, and it's okay to just be like, listen, you're just not.
Sometimes I feel like friendship breakups are worse than actual
100%.
relationship breakups.
Like legit, because you depend on that person. Like at the end of the day, from my perspective, because obviously, like, I'm heterosexual. A boy is a boy. Honestly, you can leave my life and come back.
Well, they say if you can go an hour without talking to me, go another fucking 80. Like, don't speak.
Honestly,
go another million. Like, don't speak to me again.
See, I really can't say that because I go about 3 days. Whoops. I'm a terrible replier. But anyway, like, I feel like this is something that we can actually learn from men a little bit, because I feel like maybe I'm stereotyping, but a lot of the time boys are closer and they choose their friends very well, and they're like bros.
Yeah, because I feel like and they don't need to
You
speak to each other every day, and I think that's an important thing. And the main friendships that I've got, we don't need to speak every day. Like one of my bestest friends, she lives in Wales and we don't speak every day and we send each other the occasional like voice note. And
same. I've got someone that
yeah,
does that with me as well.
but we understand that that's how our friendship works, and I feel like guys do that a lot more. And that's like
Yeah.
Dad has got like you know, loads of friends from like university.
He hasn't talked to them in like a year.
Yeah,
but they're still,
it
like,
means
bros.
nothing. They'll send each other an email.
Like,
You're not my friend.
How are you? How's it going? How's the wife?
How's
Like,
the
imagine
wife?
sending
How's
an
the
email
kids?
like fully.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I think girls, unfortunately, we do actually, again, stereotyping, we do read into things a lot more than maybe men do, which
It's
is
lot
a
more
great
emotional,
quality.
isn't it?
It's a great quality, but
Our
also it
friendships
hinders
are way
us.
more emotional, and we
100%.
like
We are.
Yeah.
We're more emotional
Naturally.
as like normally, and that's why guys, you're like, oh my god, she's acting like a psycho. Like, why is she reading into this? Why is she like stressing about the fact that I've liked another girl's picture? It's literally because we
Don't do
just
that.
don't do that. To be
I
fair, I
hate that.
don't really care
I
so
do.
much, unless she's attainable to you. If she's attainable to you, then we're gonna have to speak about it. And if she's your ex, no, you're going in the bin.
Do you think you should have your ex on social media?
I feel like if it didn't end badly, if it's too raw, no. If it's like from a couple years ago, then I think it's fine. Like if you've kind of ended it civilly, I don't know. I don't have an
I
ex.
don't think I've got any exes on social media. I feel like we just naturally.
I just want them to see what I'm up to. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
So I can be like, look at what you're missing, sir. Like, look at this glow up, and then everyone
Alright.
watching like, what glow up? Like, trust me, year 9 was not a good year for me. Year 9
I know, I
was
used to have,
not
like,
a good year for me.
acne, but
Braces, and my lips are like
braces.
that, like because they're like big, like they're too
Braces, yeah.
big for you. Oh my god.
Well, I had acne, braces, and I wear glasses. I was actually supposed to wear glasses all the time, guys. So
Honestly, we were snacks. I'm surprised that I don't have like.
how did I have a boyfriend all the way? Like
She
through-
literally did like, you know.
It was like
relax,
one
miss.
boyfriend to another.
It's how to know when to let go. Essentially, that is one of the topics that I did definitely want to discuss, and you did too.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple of friendships over, especially I would say since being self-employed, but also since like the pandemic.
It's just changed me
yeah.
so much.
For going, I think starting your own business and stuff, it comes with a lot of pressure, a lot of like time that you've got to put into.
I was cheersing. What is it? What
I'm
do we
just
have
trying
to
to
do?
be deep here.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Right, whatever. I think because I had to put a lot of effort into my business, it was a lot like financially, emotionally, physically, like it was so draining, and you have to put everything into it, that naturally maybe, wouldn't say I pushed people away, but especially those who are maybe a bit more needy, that was like pissed at me for not replying like instantaneously, or like, you know, sometimes like friendships naturally slip away. And I think, I'm not going to say it's a blessing in disguise, because maybe that does sound a bit horrible, but it also kind of maybe aligns you with the correct people.
Yeah.
And it's never a harsh thing. It's never like, I've never been in a situation where like, fuck off, get out of my life, I don't want to speak to you anymore. It's always been a like, maybe our paths are completely parallel at the moment, and we're just not, you know, or like,
The
you're not
stars
supportive
have
of me, you don't
aligned.
understand me anymore. We just don't get on, like we don't have the same banter anymore, and it's okay, because as humans we are constantly growing, especially in your 20s. I think you were like transforming into a completely different human.
100%.
Now there's a quote that I said that we had to say today, Tupac: just because you lost me as a friend doesn't mean you gained me as an enemy. I'm bigger than that. I still want to see you eat, just not on my table. And I think that's a big part. Like, I want to see you eat. I want to see you do well. I just don't need you in my immediate circle.
Wise words. Wise words.
think-
Once again,
yeah.
you sounded like Tupac.
I'm here with
just
the quotes.
Tupac. Sorry.
I've never not wished anyone well, and I've never wanted to see someone do bad in life.
No.
I've just not wanted them kind of with me immediately. You're not the one that I'm gonna grab when I'm feeling a bit low and say, can we go for a coffee? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, would you say that people do, because I feel like this is constantly like in my head a bit, do people actually change?
yes.
100%.
Oh my god.
Or do they have the same kind of core values like that stick through them? Like, as in
No.
like the personality is still kind of
I mean,
the same.
look at even like my anger and stubbornness, and I never used to be able to
It's
say
still there,
sorry.
baby.
It
It's
is
still there,
100%. But I never used to be able to say sorry. There was
True.
no chance in hell.
True.
And
No,
now
I
I'm
agree.
very much
People
like,
can change in that
and
sense.
my
You can
anger as
grow.
well is like, I used to have such anger issues. I used to do fucking anger management.
But the
and
fact-
now
what
I'm
I'm
just
trying to, yeah. But the fundamental is what I'm trying to say. You still have that within you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you still have the same kind of core.
I really believe people can change. Not
No,
everyone.
I do too. It's just a genuine question. Sorry, I keep on interrupting. I didn't mean to do that. But it was just like, the fundamental, you're saying you're still stubborn. You still have that kind of, like,
Maybe
that
learning
stubbornness
to
to
manage.
You. But I feel like she's channeled it in a different way. And I think everyone can kind of look at the qualities.
We don't change, we channel.
We don't change, we channel. Because I've noticed, like, with friends that maybe I haven't talked to in a really long time, like, we still get on. Like, it's almost, you know, even if we haven't texted each other, we still have that same kind of relationship and bond.
I've got friends that, like, we used to get on so well, and then I've been put with them, and I've thought, oh my god, I don't even know what to say. This is so awkward.
But that's the point. Like, if you think about
growth, change.
Or just, I don't know, general drifting. Because
change is good, guys.
At the end
I
of the
like
day,
change. I've always been like that, haven't I? Like, I like moving. I like, you know, although I like my comb comforts.
Comb comforts.
I like
absolutely love them.
I like my home comforts, but I like change. I like starting new ventures and doing, yeah.
But I think maybe that's a part of your fundamental personality. At the end of the day, I think it's so good to change, because if we're all staying the same kind of human, how boring is that?
Yeah.
Like, life isn't meant to, you're not meant to see the same people, be friends with the same circles, whatever. Yeah, you can have the long-term friends, and you can still, like, meet up with them afterwards, and, like, establish a relationship where it is, you go a long time without speaking to each other, but it doesn't mean that relationship isn't gonna be there when you maybe see each other again. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes we got to accept that sometimes that's how certain people like work with you potentially. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have some friends, and as you say, you don't contact them for a long time, but you're still close as ever. And at the end of the day,
still bully you if I want
also
to.
I feel like it's very prevalent maybe in school and things, where you're literally like, oh my god, people are sleeping with everyone, like, someone's kissed that person, oh, that person's like,
incestuous, isn't it?
Yeah, legit, like it is. And you're practically family, because you're spending all day every day. Like, I spent more time at school essentially when I was there than you did at home, because you'd have after school activities and everything.
ETAs.
The thing, like,
No, was it not ETAs? What do you call
after school activities? ECAs after school. I
have
no idea.
Call them? Why do I say ETAs? That's estimated time of arrival. Guys.
Okay. Anyway, she's off it. She's off it.
I'm not. I'm actually too full. I had too much pizza before this. That's what I'm like. Oh my god.
Honestly, who can relate? I remember when I was in school, I cared so much about being in a specific group and, like, you know, maintaining kind of relationships with certain people that maybe if it was real life, like, we wouldn't go. Yeah, to fit in 100%. But I was very lucky. I feel like for our
younger listeners, I want to say to you guys, it's not going to be like that forever.
Oh my god, after school, trust me, like, you will find your proper friends.
I don't care, like, my friends are my friends for who they are. I don't care who they know or what they've done or this and that. They're my friends.
Or who they've got with at freshers.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. I think you choose your friends because of their heart and what they bring to the table, what they bring to you, whether they give back. Because I think a lot of the time I've been in friendships where I've thought, I give so much more to you than you to me. I care 100%. So much. Yeah, it's all about you. There was a certain friend who I couldn't even get a word in, and they...
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
SisTEAM breaks up.
They were friends, and actually this kind of brings us on to the next point. Kind of, I'm touching on the next point. And it got to a point where I physically couldn't even speak to them anymore, and I couldn't even reply because they gave me that much anxiety because they were that much in my face. I remember I used to be, like, out and about, and they used to call me consistently.
She was in these streets, honestly.
Where are you? What are you doing? Blah, this and that. Like, I just couldn't do anything without them literally, like, badgering onto me. But then, like, they wouldn't ask about my life. I went self-employed. And bear in mind, I was very close to this person. They had no idea. And then when they kind of knew when I was self-employed and stuff, they didn't respect me. I'm not saying respect me for it. Like, little things like...
They didn't support you in that choice.
No, and they thought... They didn't pay any attention to where I was working or things like that. I used to say, like... They'd be like, oh, why are you, like, not home at this time? Or... What, like, why would you not, I don't know, like, why can you not come see me? And I'd be like, because it takes me, I have to get the tram in, tram out, I'm doing this journey 4 times a day, I'm commuting 2 hours a day, and I'm self-employed, I'm tired, I'm you know, this and that, and they'd be like, you only work around the corner. at this point I worked in Ancoats. And he was like, and they were like, oh, I didn't know that. Went since when? I was like, 6 months? Like, and
it's them kind of people that I remember I was talking to a friend and she had someone in her life
very
quite like
narcissistic.
this. But they're like kind of social vampires in a sense. By the fact that you give them everything and they just suck the life out of you.
I'm a massive giver when it comes to a friendship. I'll always do anything and everything for my friends. And I'm not necessarily saying that I need that back because I'm bubbling over with anger because of Tilly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to stop myself in the comments.
It's alright. Everyone's going to support you and hate me.
No, they're not.
Right, carry on.
Anyway, there's like, yeah, she was like, and I would just constantly be there for her. I was always doing this and that for her, like on nights out, for example, like she would like always be there for this friend.
Nice that.
Yeah, it is.
That's nice.
But essentially, like every single night out, she would never check up on my friend, and
so bad.
whereas like that kind of energy just wasn't kind of reciprocated. And I think that goes on to our next point where we're talking about how to know when maybe to let things go.
When is enough enough?
Like a breakup is a breakup. You know when to end a relationship with like
You
a
know in
love
friendship
kind
too,
of
yeah.
someone that you know you're in a sexual relationship with, but with
Should be the same
friends,
as
I feel
platonic.
like I think with friends it is a lot harder because you're like, oh, but I can still keep this person around. Like I'm not seeing them every day. Like. But no, because if they're draining you in some kind of way and they're stopping you from being your best self, as cringy as that sounds, then, you know, you don't really need them in your life.
I understand at some points in our life, sometimes maybe we need to give a little bit more because, you know, someone's hurting or someone's going through something.
Yeah.
But it's understanding it and it's finding that kind of medium, what's the word?
That kind of...
Equilibrium. No.
Equilibrium. There we go. I don't know if that's right. But I know what you mean, but I
that
can't think of the
medium?
word.
I don't know. But anyway, you guys know what we were trying to say. So maybe we need to discuss how to end a friendship.
Yeah. I mean,
Is it the same as a breakup? Do we end a friendship the same way that we end a breakup? Like, does it have to be face to face? Can we just ghost them? Can we just stop speaking?
Can we just
do we need to with friendships? Because I've never done that. It's kind of just naturally drifted, or like.
No, I agree.
Can we stop doing the thing where it's like, oh my god, we've got to see each other soon. It's been so long, unless you genuinely mean it. Like there's people I've said it to, and I'm like, yeah, I'd only say it if I genuinely mean it.
No, me too.
However, I feel like there's, you know, when some people are just like, oh my god, we've got to do something.
But you can
soon.
tell that they're not genuine. Do you know what I mean? Like.
When I say
I want to see someone, I genuinely do mean it, because why would I say it if not? Like, I do you know what I mean? Like, it just what's the point? Because then you're just I don't know, breadcrumbing.
I think the thing with friendships is get comfy is you naturally distance yourself compared to relationships. With relationships, I feel like you have to have that chat. With friendships and stuff, unless you're like best of friends. And not necessarily something's happened, because I mean, being a lash chick, you hear all the tea with two best friends. Like one girl, one of my gals, she was like, she slept with my boyfriend.
Oh my god!
Obviously, friendship's gonna end. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
if it's just like if it's just something you're just different people now and you don't get on as much, like, do you have to send a long paragraph or have that call or meet up at a park bench and be like, it's just not working?
It's just I'm sorry. I just put my hand on her leg. I'm sorry,
we don't often
it's just
touch.
Not
This is
anymore.
really weird.
This is really weird. I'm really
we don't hug or
uncomfortable.
anything really.
We actually don't. Like, out of everyone in our family, I don't know, is this just us guys? But you don't actually like.
It's just me. Mum's always said that. I'm a very.
No, she tries to hug me sometimes. I'm like, ooh. But I do like a cuddle. Not gonna lie. Oh, I sound like
I love
such a
hugging my
softie.
mum, but I think.
But
people
I feel like,
know. They get my body language and they're like,
oh,
she's. You can tell when they're like, oh my god, Harriet's like. I can give her a hug, and I feel like people are like, oh my god.
I always have to like double take. I'm like, does she actually want
With
it?
me,
it's a bit confusing. But anyway, I feel like most friendships, when it hasn't got like a dramatic end, like let's say you've slept with your best friend's boyfriend, which why would you do that? There are so many men out there.
Is there really?
Or you've been with your friend's girlfriend. Like, I mean, I don't think it's the same for boys. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like. A lot of friendship groups, people like bounce around, you know. They get the same girl.
When you meet his mates, you realise you've got the...
And you realise you've actually been with them before.
No, I was going to say you realise that you've got the wrong one.
You picked the wrong one.
You're like,
Oh shit.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Should have pre his Instagram. No, but I have seen people.
So I like someone for them. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my god, just.
I do.
Yeah, true.
I
no,
do.
You do.
I'm very much like
personality, 100%.
As
But
long as you're over 6 foot.
as long as you're over 6 foot, and you're this.
I mean,
Tick, 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 tick. We say that. We're like, oh yeah, I fall in love with personality, but then we're like, okay, so this prerequisite. Like, but I feel like with most friendships, they do fizzle out, and you kind of have to accept that. Don't try and like hold on to something that is just it. Like, stop trying to start a fire with like no wood. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the wood's run out,
I think
like,
you know in yourself when to let go. When obviously the friendship's bringing you nothing. When
Obviously
you're not
it
making
can't-
an effort to see each other, or like it's maybe just awkward.
you need to ask yourself, is this person adding anything into my life? If it's no, then you've got to also ask, is this person going through something? Have I checked up with them? Do I even get along with that person anymore? Like, at the end of the day,
Do they
as I
even
was trying to
like
say
me?
before, like, you can pick your friends. You can't pick your family. Unfortunately. You bloody you end up with what you have, you know. It's just such a shame, really.
Very frosty episode. guys.
Frosty is so icy. SisTEA breaks up. But yeah, and I think that's most of the points that we wanted to cover today with regards to friendships. Like, it's okay to break up with someone.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a big dramatic, like, you did this to me,
Yeah.
I'm so upset. Like, it can just be like fizzled out, and
Yeah.
you don't always have to give explanations to everyone unless it's like you just dropped off the face of the earth.
Put yourself first. You're not a narcissist.
Literally,
for doing that.
You're born and you die alone. As morbid as that sound, it's true.
Stop making fake plans or false plans or whatever.
Oh my god, like no, because then
I want to see you sit, like, just literally wish them well. Like, it doesn't have to
And
be,
move along.
you know, if you even if you feel like, oh my god, I've not spoken to that person in ages. If you've seen they've posted a picture, you replied to their stories, you look really well, hope you're well. You don't have to go and we should see each other soon, because it's not like that. A simple, nice message can go a long way, but doesn't mean that you have to like
I hope
catch
you're
up with
well.
a coffee unless you want to.
Exactly. Don't feel pressure. Look it up.
Anyway, ghosting.
Ghosting is our next topic.
Right, so we've got
I
some
did
polls.
a couple polls on my story. Should you ghost someone without a reason? So 25% of people said yes. 75% said
I'd
no.
love to know the gender split. That'd be really interesting.
Oh, I should have screenshotted. I should have got receipts. I've got a mental note of certain people, and I'm like, right.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they people that you've spoken to that have ghosted you?
Yeah. I know.
That is the fucking tea.
Yeah. I was like, right, okay, that makes sense.
Do you want to explain that a bit more, darling? Do you want to fucking...
No, I'm so hurt, like, I can't, like...
Ghosted for a reason. He's like, no, I'm literally telling him, reinforcing the fact that I ghosted you.
Yeah, true, but then he'll pop up once in a while, and I'm like...
3 years later, and you're like...
really? Yeah, some people are just like that, and I'm like, you're just trying to get attention.
They always come back.
They do give me the ick, so I just, like, I'm like, now I'm a bit like, There are certain people I just think, you're not nice humans, but it's not...
We move.
We don't need
Girls
you in
and
my
boys.
life. To be fair, in a sense, ghosting, like, I'll read out the next poll, but, like, it almost goes to show, like, maybe you got yourself out of something. Do you know what I mean? If that person's just thinking it's okay to, like, I get, like, a gradual ghost, like a fizzle out, but if you're just
Bitch,
gonna
I'm a
not
ghost.
reply, you look exactly like one. Hit up. Yeah, maybe that's a sign that maybe that person, you know, doesn't really give a shit about you, or kind of hurting other people's feelings.
I mean, the reason that I have ghosted is because I'm just like, I don't even know what to say anymore. I could just like, this is dead, or if it was like, if it was someone that like I kind of was like, I'm not that actually interested in, but like I've been replying because like
no, I feel like
I kind of fancy you, but I sound so bad. Like, genuinely, I think a lot of the reason for ghosting is because you
just
were
lost
interested,
or they've done
you thought
something
they were
that makes
alright
you think,
looking, and then you kind of just thought, nah, it's
But
not
it's
for me.
not
Or
always
sometimes
that.
things are going on in life.
yeah, sometimes it's not even the person. Sometimes I think that they've maybe said something that you're like, that doesn't align with my values.
sometimes,
or like,
sometimes
and
it's
a
like,
bit like, oh, you know
or
what I
they've
mean?
said something you think that was too sexual too quick, or like that's freaked me out, or
just
like
it's
I don't
like-
want what you want.
Or or they just you know you get an
You don't
aspect
get
of their
on.
personality.
Yeah.
You're like, this isn't right for me, but it might be
Yeah.
right for someone else.
And you could fancy someone so much, but then realize like actually like I don't actually really like our personalities don't gel.
Trust me, there are a lot of people that don't gel with my personality.
I know, she's so blunt.
Oops. Have you ever been ghosted by someone unexpectedly? So 60% said yes. I definitely have. I was like, you really want to ghost a homie? Wow. 40% said no. Obviously, that
I'm
makes sense.
surprised at that. I thought it'd be more people got ghosted because
Yeah.
there's all anyone.
Again, took a mental
anyone-
note of certain people. I was
Really?
Like, I was like, right, okay, big dick, right, okay.
I feel like people and their pride there. 'Cause
Well,
it's a
no,
hard thing to say.
Some
You don't ever
people-
want to say you've been ghosted. I've never been ghosted.
Wink, wink. Can't wink. We still have the... Okay, and then I did ask a
So
couple
what?
questions. So is there a nice way to ghost, or is it best just to kind of dip and leave and just be like, see you later, reverse? Don't know why I'm doing so many hands. Sorry, everyone around you
I
didn't
think
see that.
I would always have said like, "Oh, just ghost," but after being on maybe a receiving end, you kind of think actually that's probably not the
It does
nicest
sting
thing
a
to
little
do
bit.
because
You're
you're a bit like, again, why
Like,
don't
you don't want me?
Me?
Me? A whole ass me?
Oh, me?
Anyway, so someone says, be honest, if you ghost or just block someone, it can hurt and affect them.
Why would you block someone? That's what I don't get. This guy keeps blocking me and
Because
I'm
you're like, I
blocking
just don't want
me.
you in my life, and I feel like some people, like, they literally have to have, like, it's either this or nothing. I've never blocked someone personally, but I know a lot of people that do.
I have.
I've burned some
When someone
bridges.
pisses me off, I'm like, delete my fucking number. Don't ever contact me again. Like, I'm
Delete
very
my
savage when it
number.
comes to things like, delete my number. Do not speak to me again. Like, I'll say that.
Do
and
not
if they
call
text me again, I'm like,
0161 ever again.
I'll get no. Oh my god, I've had no caller ID calling me a couple of times. That's a tea for another time.
Tea
but
for another time. Someone says, no excuse for ghosting. If you ask me, just tell them you want to end it, which I agree, but some people aren't so good with confrontation. I feel like sometimes it is easier to just kind of go on amicable terms. You don't have to make a big thing about it. Sorry. You don't have to always make a big thing about it, but I do definitely agree, and I think looking forward, SisTEAM, we should be honest with people, and it doesn't have to be a big ass text that you drafted over and over and you ask like everyone on your fucking like friendship
I
list
just don't think this is right
to
for me.
confirm. Yeah, that's what you need to say. Do you know what I mean? Or at least say what you thought a situation
Yeah, for
was.
me anyway.
And say that this is just not where I am in my life, and it's not you, it's me.
Literally.
Legit though, it's true. Best to just say only people with shit social skills ghost people. True.
I don't think I've got shit social skills.
I don't think I have shit social skills, but this person thinks I do.
I might make a pact from now on I'll never ghost someone again.
Harriet,
What
we both
about
know
what-
that's
what-
never gonna be.
No, what consists ghosting? Like just not replying to someone or just
I
like
just feel like
ignoring
you
a
just
message
fall
that's
off
been
the
sent.
face. I feel like if you just fall off the face of the earth.
Sometimes I just don't. It's not even like I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna sound awful, but like if someone's maybe replied to a story or just kind of seen it and I've just like not replied, but I just don't think that is ghosting. I just think that's like I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
I feel too
sometimes you just don't
awkward.
know what to
I'm
say
such an
because they
awkward
haven't really given
human.
you anything to
If you
respond
want to speak to me,
just speak
text
to me. Like I'm so
Or start a
I would
convo.
literally talk about anything. Like it's really not that hard to like start a conversation with me. But if you're just gonna like,
you know what? If I don't reply, I'm
Give
probably
me
not
nothing.
interested. Actually.
but also if you're gonna be really blunt, we've talked about this
know.
before. Like blunt
Don't
text,
know.
like I just don't need them in my life. Like
I-
unless you're
yeah.
gonna like talk to me, like grow a pair and talk to
I
me.
feel
say it
like
with your
before
chest.
I put my input on if I'm ghosting or what, I think I need to really think about this and whether I am ghosting or whether I don't know. So I'm personally for this episode, because I don't want to say any false information, gonna go into any more whether I've ghosted or not. I'm just gonna comment on the subject. So guys, bear with
Yeah, but I
me.
feel
I'm
like-
really gonna think about this and I'm gonna come back with the ghosting subject again because I feel like I'm a bit wishy-washy at the moment. I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna
No, but
talk about the stats. I'm gonna
I
give
do
my
agree.
opinion.
I
yeah.
do agree in a sense. Sometimes I'm like, I haven't
Is
really
it
ghosted
ghosting?
you.
I don't know.
I haven't ghosted you. I've just decided not to respond to a text where you've been extremely blunt and you haven't really given me anything to respond to. I don't think
Ghosting
that's
is
ghosting.
so bored. Are we
Whereas
delving into
if
something
you're
really
like,
deep here?
do you know? Yeah, kind of in a sense. Like, but if they sent you a legitimate like a question or something that you can respond to, like actually ask you something, try to start a conversation,
Well,
and you just blank them.
It is a new thing, isn't it, ghosting? So yeah, maybe this is
ghosting.
normal what we're talking about here, and that maybe this is normal what we're saying now, whether or not we don't know whether we're ghosting people or not, because it is such a new thing and it's been blown up recently that maybe we are right in saying like, am I or am I not?
Yeah, but there must have. I feel like it was easier to.
I want to say something.
Oh, you do? Okay, go on.
Oh, I don't think
she wants to say something.
I don't know if many boys, obviously, that I've spoken to in the past listen to podcasts. It's probably very unlikely. If you got this far into the podcast and you're a boy that I've spoken to in the past, if I have ever ghosted you, or you've thought that I've ghosted you, I want you to message me and I want you to tell me why you think I ghosted you, or if I have ghosted you, because I want to look back on it and see your opinion of ghosting. Because I don't know if I have or not. Yeah.
Likewise, but I don't think I've really ghosted anyone. I feel like people have just ghosted me. Love that. I'm such a simp and a mug. Anyway.
Or if you've ghosted me and you're watching this, can you send me a message
if you've
and
ghosted
say why?
Me, listen, if you have ghosted me, tell me why, so that I can improve. To be fair, I also don't think it's anything on me. I think that's your problem, but maybe self-confidence is too high. And someone said, this is a joke, of course, send her dad a dick pic, that way she doesn't want another message.
Oh my god. That's not consensual. Moving on.
So, okay, sorry. And then the second question, what are some reasons for ghosting someone?
Oh, I love this.
So, one person says, if they're a dick lol, where is the lie? Because sometimes
you're talking to someone. Sorry.
I agree, but I'd like to say that sometimes, again, you, like, people's true colours come through it and you're like, oh. Like, suddenly, like, they'll say something and they'll suddenly switch, and it's only like...
I feel like they do it on purpose, so you're a bit like, I don't want to speak to you again then.
Also, I feel like there are certain aspects of certain personalities that don't come through all the time. So then they'll do one thing and you're like, that was quite aggressive. That was a form of gaslighting. And you're like, you know what, I can't do that. That was too much for me. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's what she kind of meant. Like, some people can just quickly change. And it's so quick. It's so funny how people change from when you're talking to when you're not talking.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been like that.
Really?
Maybe I've been a bit more like distant.
I haven't, but
I've never
have
been
to me.
actively evil or actively like mean or actively like, do you know what I mean?
Because I don't think that's in, we weren't taught to be like that. But I suppose no one's taught to be like that. But some people think that it's okay to just...
Like, I'm not being funny. If being mean you think, oh, they're going to get the picture if I'm like that. No, that's not very nice.
Or maybe you get some sort of satisfaction out of just being an awful human. I don't know.
Right,
but I don't think people are like that. Just can't be bothered, lol.
Fair play, but...
If I only like you a bit and I'm not obsessed. Which kind of makes sense.
I mean,
you want to be obsessed with your future
I don't want it half-assed,
everything in between.
There's been people that I've been speaking to and you've made me like not obsessed, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, that part, like that bit I don't love about you, you know?
If I'm not obsessed with you, then I'm not going to make the effort.
Yeah, because I want to be excited. I don't want to be
if
like...
you don't meet up with me within like a couple of days or like, you know, I'm very much like, well, I need to meet you to see if I like you. If you're going to keep... I thought that was a dog then. Was that your foot?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah, like... Okay, bye then.
No, I agree. I feel like that kind of...
I need the instant gratification.
But I feel like it's definitely more difficult in quarantine. I feel like that has restricted things a lot. But when things open up, if I'm not seeing you within like the first like couple of days of speaking, then like what are we doing? Again, I don't want to pen pal. I've said that before. I'll write to a prisoner instead. The ick, better options and boredom. True. Some people after a while you kind of run out of things to say. And if you think about it, if you're going to be in a relationship for a really long time and you run out of things to say... Oh, you're yawning. I was like, oh my God, is she okay? I thought you were like so surprised. I was like, relax. But I feel like, true. And if you see someone that you presume is like a better option or something.
Grass is always greener.
But at the end of the day, that just proves that that person wasn't right for you.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Maybe
If
you
you
just-
think that that you fancy the pants off someone so much more, then yeah, maybe
Well,
that
that's
person
me.
wasn't
This
right.
is what I've always said. Is like I always think the reason I can't commit is because I'm like, what if the grass is greener?
got
What if I
commitment
find
issues.
like what if I find someone
I'm gonna fix that.
that's more to me, or like that I fancy a bit more, or that I've got this or got that, or do you know what I mean? And it stops me from getting to know some pretty amazing people when I'm looking back, and I'm like, oh, whoops.
Oh, I really did myself on that one. Okay, no interest in them. True, but that I don't know. People are too afraid to be honest.
think
Yeah, I
that's
feel
it,
like
yeah.
honesty is definitely one of the pillars of a good relationship. If you can't be honest with that person, then
But then, is it even a relationship yet?
It's
like,
not a
It's the thing is, like, you're only speaking.
no,
So-
true. But
but
if you can't be honest,
I feel like, oh, this is gonna annoy me so much because I feel like honesty comes like down. Like, although you should be honest with someone from like the get-go, but if you've not met them yet or you've been
Yeah,
on
true,
one
you don't
date,
need to be 100.
why have you got to be
You don't
like
have to be
completely honest,
100.
being like, I'm just not fit? It like I
No,
feel like
I
it's
agree.
so
It has to be down the line
casual.
because you can't make a decision
Like,
that
it's
quick.
chill.
If you've been on one date, like relax. Like,
Why do you need to pour out your heart and be
you don't have to
completely
be
honest?
like, I really think that we're gonna be obsessed with each other.
Unless
that we're
this
gonna be together
person-
forever. We're gonna have 7 kids.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Unless this person's obviously being like, well, are we seeing each other again? Like, do you want to do something again? That's when you are honest and say, I'm not sure if I
Not
want to
really
kind of, like,
feeling
I'm
it.
just not feeling it.
Yeah.
But I feel like you don't need to go out your way to be like, babe, listen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. If you are, but I also feel like if you start a relationship on like white lies or anything.
No, I'm not
I feel
saying
like,
that.
No.
I feel like I think
know.
what I was trying to say is a bit different.
No,
but-
no,
I know, I'm just saying for the viewers,
yeah.
if they've
Yeah.
misconstrued what I've said.
She's not saying that.
I'm not
But
saying
it's
that. I'm just
also-
saying, like, it's not that deep, guys.
It's really not that deep. If you've been on a first date, trust me, like.
However,
just-
if you've been,
You can
I
make
see,
up
you
a
see all
fucking excuse if
these
you want.
fucking TikToks of all these people being like, they met my family, like we went on holiday together, or like I went to go like watch them play sport or do this and that, and then suddenly they blocked me and I've never heard from them again. That's
that
like
is
my biggest
bad.
fear.
That is bad. I've opened up to you and you've done that.
Yeah.
Wow, no.
It's like my boyfriend literally just up and left and never spoke
This
to me
is
again.
why I have issues, because I'm worried about
I
shit
got
like that.
issues.
Okay. Needy, too much into it. Yeah, we can't have a needy person. That person needs to be independent. You both need to be kind of... There is an element of neediness in relationships. You know, the reason that you're
Sorry.
together is because you feel like you don't need that person, but you want that person. I feel like it's sometimes quite difficult to decipher between the two. Like, do I actually need them? Because you shouldn't need them. You should be okay on your own. You should be fine single. You should be doing... Because at the end of the day, you're born and you die alone. Like, you can't be
I think
dependent.
you say that every single episode.
I know, but you've got to want that person. You've got to think, I want this person in my life because they're adding to it.
Yeah.
But you do not need them. Because what happens if that person suddenly, again, as you say, gone? What are you going to do? You have to be all right. You obviously will hurt, but you
Pick
have to be able
yourself
to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on. Because the world's not going to like stop spinning. Like, it's going to carry on. You have to carry on yourself. Not appreciating someone's care and love. I mean, I suppose if your love languages aren't the same, if you can't provide them with what...
I just feel like ghosting's such an early on thing, and I feel like that's something you get
That's
into a
quite
relationship.
deep. Yeah,
so
that's quite deep.
I feel like that's deep. I feel like I'm just maybe not a very emotional person very early on.
Just not feeling...
But I love deep, but initially I'm very much like,
True.
give or
I'm
take.
very closed off, actually.
Yeah.
When I start with the talking stage,
Yeah,
I'm quite...
I'm very like give or take. Like,
Because I'm like, to be honest, this person's going to be gone in a week.
you
not
know
gonna lie.
the worst thing about like speaking to someone though, and when it ends, like the worst thing for me personally is thinking, oh my god, I've got to find like someone else that's gonna like cuddle me.
It's so long.
And,
I
like,
don't
I'm
want to
gonna
learn another
find-
person's
oh
favorite
my
color. I
God.
don't want to know what your
That's
parents
the
do.
worst
I
thing
don't
for
want to
me.
know
It's
what
not
your
the fact
favorite
that it's-
cuisine is.
Yeah, it's not the fact that they're gone or their personality's gone or this or that. Like, fine, whatever. You've left.
I can't ask
However, the
any more
fact that
questions.
now
Oh.
I've got to put effort into
It's
someone new.
so long. I have no more talking stage. just left at me. I am done. This is my official cry for help and breakdown. I can't do it.
I cannot.
I'm so tired of it. Like
I cannot go through your Instagram 7 years ago and find out your auntie's name again. It's dreadful.
I just, it's just, I'm so tired.
I'm so tired.
I'm so tired. But also, like, I feel like, because, I'm just so funny. Like, half the chats, I'm like, I've wasted all that banter
Oh my
on
god,
you.
I'm going to have to replay that joke again, aren't
for goodness
I?
sake, I'm going to have to do that joke again.
I'm going to explain my sarcasm.
People are going
I'm going to explain my sarcasm to a new person.
Oh, that's so long.
Oh my god.
So long. But also, like, it's like, I get comfortable with people too quickly. I must have 100%. I tell my whole life story in the first day.
We've said this, like, I don't. However,
You don't,
I just
I
keep
do.
saying, like, it's on my podcast now, so I may as well just fucking say it. I don't see it as deep anymore. I'm like, this has happened to me, this has happened to me, and they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no, to be fair, yeah, I am an open book. But for real feelings, like,
Yeah.
I'll only confide in you.
Yeah.
Right, and then getting aggressive texts because maybe you haven't texted them back straight away, which is a bit like, relax.
What?
Well, as in, like, when that person starts texting you aggressively because maybe they're more needy than you in the sense that they constantly need
text
replies or
aggressively.
whatever. As in, like, just...
No, I know what you mean, because I've had it to me before where someone's, like, gone in on me just because I've maybe not replied or I've sent a bit of a dead reply, and I'm
And
like...
it's like, relax.
What?
Yeah.
Could have just called me and we could have sorted this out, or I could have literally just said then and there, not feeling this. Do you think there's a nice way to ghost someone?
I think that the best way, if you do want to end something with someone, as we said, it doesn't have to be this big, long drafted text that you have to be like, so this is why I don't think that we're going to be together and that I can't fall in love with you, blah, blah, blah. I think just fizzle out the replies and just, or if you want to, just be like, listen, I'm just not feeling it. I enjoyed, like, speaking to you and it's nothing on you. I just don't think that this relationship is right for me and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And I don't want to waste your time. I'm just personally not looking for a relationship right now, or I just don't feel like you give me what I want. Okay? And just say something like just to conclude that point, I think the best way to be is just honest with people and say why it might not be working
Or maybe
out. It doesn't have to be like, and fizzle things out.
Maybe
you know?
don't be deep so quick if your intentions aren't there.
Yeah, if you're like, I just want to have fun with people, then don't be like, I really feel like this is going somewhere and I really want to take you seriously and whatever. Don't say that
If
from
you're not
the beginning.
feeling it. I think the issue is guys, a lot of the time I think a lot of us girls have agreed, and even guys have agreed with me, is that guys feel something very quickly within 2 weeks. They're like, oh my god.
And then
they're
trump off
like,
the face of the earth.
yeah, whilst we, after then, that's when we catch our feelings.
And then after that, I'm like, I'm in love with you.
I feel like that's when it kind of like...
I'm like, have my babies.
Yeah, the issues start because you're like, I've now caught feelings, but you've drifted. Whilst I wasn't so into it before, and it's like it's role reverse.
It's like, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're gonna end a story
from one of our listeners. Just remember, guys, if you do have any funny stories or any kind of things you want to share with us, please do. Okay, so here we go. My current boyfriend wanted to make the way he asked me to be his girlfriend really special. Brackets, bless him. Very cute, very cute. He wanted to drive me to the coast and watch the sunset, and he prepared a little speech at the end of the speech he wanted to ask me. Whilst driving to the coast, we saw this huge dark cloud, which meant we would definitely not be seeing the sunset tonight. 1L, really. This should have been the first warning that inevitably became the most memorable night. Pathetic fallacy. Sorry, just adding those little side comments in. Once we arrived to the spot, it started snowing heavily, and he was disappointed it didn't go to plan, but nevertheless, I still said yes. Woo! What was supposed to be a half an hour drive turned into a 2-hour drive, as we didn't go more than 20 miles per hour due to the snow. Once we got home, we devoured our Mackies, and of course wanted to consummate the relationship. Sorry, the consummate. We start going at it, bearing in mind this is only the second time we've had sex, and it was his first time, brackets technically. After a couple of minutes, we looked down and the bed was covered in blood. We were both really... Sorry, just switching things. Okay, we were both really scared and didn't know what had happened. I ran to the bathroom as blood was pouring out of me. I think something had broken, or maybe something worse. I had 2 showers and the blood was still coming. I decided to try and stop the bleeding by putting in a tampon. Wasn't that smart, to be honest. He then came into the room and said, I think it's me.
Like
it doesn't look right. It being you know, his dingaling, he was very, very calm and content and was not in pain at all. He lost almost 2 pints of blood. Shit. After me calming down, we decided to ring the 111 and he wasn't in pain. If that was me, I would call 999.
Just call 111.
Just 2 pints of blood.
999!
Your penis is bleeding! Whew. Okay, sorry.
Oh my
I couldn't do that.
God.
If my part's down there, so okay, obviously like it's different for girls.
Outside of your period.
Outside of your period, I'd be like, oh my god, someone call the doctor. I'm dying officially. They told us to go straight to the hospital, which was a 40-minute drive away. We went to his car, but of course the battery had died. I know. Of course, the battery had died as he had left his fog lights on and the car was too cold to function due to the snow. So we called for a taxi. This is at 3 a.m. in the morning.
I'd be done at this point.
3 Don't they say like
Wake me
bad
up.
things happen in threes?
Yeah.
But this is like 10 things happening at once.
A chain.
But you know, at least it's on the SisTEA podcast now. Like we appreciate this kind of shit. After an expensive taxi and a 40-minute drive, we arrived at the hospital and had no idea what to do next. We waited, he got checked out, and all the doctor said was, leave it to heal naturally.
Sorry, it's carrying on.
Leave it to heal naturally. My penis is broken and you're telling me, a whole doctor, I spent 40 minutes and you're telling me to leave it to heal. I wasted the NHS's time. Wow, okay. Anyway.
I'm on 20% FYI.
Are you kidding me? After all, that panic, we just needed to wait naturally all that time and he bled again. Not as much as last time, but he still bled. We were scared as though he would never be able to have sex again. Can you imagine? Imagine the guilt. Sorry, I know that was really itsy, but I screenshotted weren't right. We were scared as... Yeah, he ended up having a private consultation and again just said to Natch, heal naturally.
Let it heal naturally.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm so sorry. Then it's my turn to go to the hospital. I was experiencing so much pain in my lower right side of my body, including my stomach and back. I couldn't move. I kept weeing every 10 minutes. That's me and I'm perfectly fine.
Ah, yeah, babe, don't worry
like legit,
about that.
like don't worry. Hun, if you need to wee every 10 minutes,
weak
that is
bladder
literally
and
us.
Constant UTI, kidney infection, everything. I give
After
up.
waiting for so long, I had to do a urine test, which came back as I had loads of blood in my urine. What is my blood? Or was it in my blood or was it his? They said you'll get a call in the morning about getting a CT scan, which I was shitting myself for.
Someone else's blood, I'd be like, get it out of
I know,
me.
how is that actually like, how has that stayed in you?
I don't know, anyway,
I don't even know, this is why I'm not a doctor. They told me either I was passing a kidney stone or my kidneys weren't working. I was given very heavy painkillers and told to try and sleep. The next day I waited all morning for a phone call, but nothing. After trying twice to get through to someone, they finally picked up and said I needed to urgently come in for a scan. I arrived at hospital and had my urine and blood tests. They had no recollection or paperwork to say. I had been in hospital the previous evening and they said that I wasn't on their records. So I was thinking, great. Anyway, I was there for 2 hours with no one telling me what was happening. A nurse finally came up to me and said she didn't want me to have the scan. They didn't want to give me so much radiation at such a young age. I ended up being given some penicillin and it ended up being a UTI. For fuck's sake. So that's their story.
That, honestly, I would just give up.
I'd give up on that.
I would ghost.
It's her boyfriend. She can't just ghost.
I would ghost.
I would ghost. I broke your penis. I think that's a sign. That's a sign.
No, that is actually horrendous. Like,
no, but if you went through something like that with a person and you really see what they
Oh,
are like in like an
100%, of course I
emergency,
would.
do you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? But that is just like really like one thing after
Really?
another.
Again?
You just be like, oh mate.
I couldn't do it, man. No. I couldn't do it. A UTI and a bleeding penis and the blood is still in
It's
me.
all a bit much, isn't it?
It's a bit much. We're so sorry for you, girl.
But we love you. Yeah,
we do
thank
love
you for sharing your
Thank
story.
you for sharing your stories. And if you guys have any more kind of dramatic stories
Send
where
them
you've
in.
ended up in the A&E. Anyway, thank you guys so much
Thank you
for
so
listening. We really hope you enjoyed this. Please do not forget to subscribe, like
comment.
review on Apple Podcasts.
Yes. Review on
Please.
Apple Podcasts.
We're trying to build up the SisTEAM, okay?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, because, I mean, hopefully you guys like it, but we really enjoyed doing this, and it would really mean a lot to us if the podcast grew.
Yeah.
You can find us, obviously, at SisTEA Podcast on TikTok and on...
You obviously, yeah, this will be on YouTube
and Instagram.
later.
And you can find me at Tilly Freya. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and see you next week.
See you next week. Love you.
Bye.